And literally what you are doing with it is putting one through another. And obviously the way you do it does affect the pattern that you get. This was the one that I started the other day, and I've got some pieces made, some bundles made up here if you want to try it. And so, first of all, I think I better say something about the tools. The cords have to be twisted very tightly, and therefore you need something to thread through the cord to get it back again. Now these are copies of tools that are used in the Himalayas. I don't actually find them very easy to use, but it's quite fun to have them. As you can see, that's a sort of two-ended needle, and that one, you can thread your cord through that. What is quite useful, and I've got several of these, are latch hooks. But if you have a latch hook, it needs to have a long stalk, because otherwise it won't go right through. Some latch hooks sort of finish here and the handle comes straight away, and they're absolutely useless. So all of those latch hooks will work. So there's a bundle of them there. Then this is a hooky mat tool, and you can also use that. That works quite well. But the best thing of all is something called a grip fid. And I have 4 sizes of grip fid here, depending on the thickness of the cord. That's the very fine one. This is the one I use most. Now, if you're following a pattern, you always call the one on the left number 1. And however many you have, that's obviously, I've got, did I say I've got 10? So that's number 10. But when I pull it through, number 1 becomes number 10 and the other one gets promoted. So the one on the left is always number 1. So what I'm doing at the moment is collecting number 1 by putting my grip fid through the cord. I'll just do it once and then I'll explain a little bit more about it. Through the cord. That's it. The advantage of the grip fid, which is also true of the latch hook actually, is that you can see that you've picked up each cord before you do the vital pulling through. Right. I don't know why I put a navy one in, it's much more difficult to see. Right, so I've gone through 9, pull that down there, I then slip the cord that I'm pulling into there, so it nestles in there, and let's hope it now behaves itself. There we go. Comes through the lot. And that is now cord number 10, and that's now number 1 down. You will achieve that diagonal stripe pattern. But there are loads and loads of other patterns, and they're mainly achieved in a number of ways, sometimes by turning the work over, so that that becomes thread number 1, and it then goes back the other way. Sometimes you do it by not pulling all the threads through, so that, for instance, you could pull 1 through and then 2 through and then and until you're down to 9, as it were, and then start again by building it up. Next thing I need, yeah.
Be able to do it with a latch hook so we can see how it works.
Yeah. Latch hook, that's my favourite latch hook. The thing is that each of these cords are 4 strands, and I'm always putting it through the middle with 2 up, 2 down. But as you work down the cord, you reuse one that's already been pulled through and pick up a new one. So it's what's called a quarter turn. Right, I've got it through there. Okay, so you're always doing a quarter turn. There are some patterns where you do a half turn all the time. So but the simplest one is just doing this quarter turn.
Oh, it's cotton.
These are mostly cotton, but I think in Afghanistan they would probably use hemp.
All right.
You can also use linen. I love using linen, but it's a bit harder on your hands. Through that, you take it through itself, and then you press it down into that, so that it holds. And there it is.
Clever.
And that's extremely useful if you're making belts or jewellery, because it gives you a loop. And all you need to do is sew a button on the other end. So, and then you add the others by going through, again coming down a quarter turn, that one. So, as I say, if you're doing it for jewellery or anything like that, this little loop at the end is absolutely brilliant. But if you can't do that, you have to find another way of doing it. So you can do it on a large nappy pin or a kilt pin, or you can do it on a little rod, or you can do it on another thread. You could do it on a split ring, anything as long as it's going to hold it firmly. And I'll go through once more. And I'll try and show you a turn without making a mess of it. You get used to turns, but as I say, the pattern always reads from the left.
So when you're, this might sound really thick because I didn't see the area at the beginning. When you're talking about turns, you mean the turn in the cord, the twist on it?
No, I'll show you what I mean. I mean turning your work.
Oh, sorry.
I'll pull this over and then I'll show you. Very interesting things happen if you turn. Yeah, that's through again. So those I've done, and if I continued like that, I would just get a diagonal stripe. But I could completely turn it over.
Right.
And that would now be number one, and I would pull it through that way.
Right.
And that actually then gives you a pattern like that.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Now the other thing you can do is you can go through and you can pull thread 1 through and ignore it, then 2 and then 3 and ignore it until you've got, and that gives you another type of twist.
Right.
So now what we should be doing is tightening the tension on
one.
each one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's looking better, yeah. I'm going to stop it a minute, Bill. Now, one way of, I mean, when I'm doing it with my hand one, I count. But one way of seeing it's not tight enough because you just look to see if it twists. So a bit more, Bill.
What you can also do is measure the distance we go from the table.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Calculate it from there.
And you see this one moves forward. Okay, stop it. Now then, if I just... No, it's still not quite enough. A bit more. I think that's probably enough. Right, so all of those are twisted quite heavily to get in the same way as the twist on the yarn. Now, can we try it the other way?
Say how do you set the twist? You need to rest it for a while as well after you've,
There we are.
after you've done it.
Now, you come along here, and what I usually do, put it through both of them and that one, and then tie it when I can reach it. Is it through both? No, it isn't. There we are. Right, okay. And then that. Then.
Simple as that. With this you can use 2.
just got one spare finger, that's the spare finger. So I've got 2 there and 2 there. So I'm going to go through there and clean that over there. Just tighten it a bit. Same one. So you can see it starting. I do tend to drop them from time to time.